All right, gold and silver. What's going to happen next week? Now, I'm not going to hold you guys too long because I know the Super Bowl is today, and the last thing you guys probably want to do is chug beer while listening to a guy talk about the gold and silver markets. So let's get into it really quick. What do I think will happen with gold and silver next week? I actually do think that prices now may not be a huge soar, it may not be a huge rise, but I do think that we are going to see some price elevation. The reason why I say that is because of what we experienced with the dollar the last couple of weeks. Now, everything that happened with GameStop, everything that happened with large institutions having to liquidate a lot of their long positions in order to raise cash because of the money lost, all of that pretty much has started to go by the wayside, as we saw with behavior on Friday. And this is where we see the market close here on gold and silver prices here. Gold basically had a nice up day that day, and same thing with silver, whereas the dollar on that day relative to its competitors started to come down pretty nicely, almost to the point of dipping. Actually, no, it did dip below the 91 level, and it actually rose above the 91 level because of all of that VIX issue, all of the VIX issues that occurred because of everything that the GameStop situation kind of kicked off. Again, a lot of large institutions lost a lot of money, and they had to force liquidations of some of their long positions. But as we start to dip into the beginning of this coming week, I foresee that gold and silver prices will rise again. Now, I'm also putting my money on this in multiple ways. Now, obviously, I have gold and silver positions and physical gold and silver that are just long term. I'm not really doing anything with them. But as far as one of my plays on this, I actually have exposure to a bearish dollar ETF. I believe it's an Invesco ETF. And basically, I'm going to be holding that for some time now, especially as we're going to hear from President Joe Biden about, the incoming stimulus and everything. You can just imagine that with a low federal funds rate, lower rates for longer, it's not a good environment for the dollar. So I'm pretty much bearish on the dollar, and I'm going to get some exposure on that in the currency markets via an ETF that's bearish on the dollar. So as this is happening, and definitely will be happening for the long term, on the opposite end of things, I'll be holding these guys as well. Now, what will we be expecting from, prices next week? Well, what do we think will happen as far as a reaction to any economic news? Now, as far as next week is concerned, we aren't going to be getting anything big on February 8th on Monday in the US. As far as Tuesday is concerned, we have job openings for December coming in. We have the NFIB Small Business Index for January coming in. So nothing that'll shake the table too much for gold and silver. Wednesday, we have the Consumer Price Index, Core CPI, Federal Budget, Wholesale Inventories. These are all for different months. But the thing about this is that we kind of have a trend developing already. Now, when prices change and things start to move down or move up, given any kind of new information that the market gives us, it's usually after we hit some inflection point and we start to see a change in trend. But if we're starting to see that the core CPI or general CPI is slowly rising over time, if it continues that way, I really doubt that it's going to impact gold and silver prices much on that day. It may, but I want to put so much stock into that. For Thursday, initial jobless claims and continuing jobless claims. Again, this is another one of those things where it's like we already know that people are struggling in this country, and we already know that a lot of jobs, especially in the wintertime, especially with a lot of closures of businesses. We know that people are filing for jobless claims. So another one of those reasons why on Thursday, we expect to see gold react to the upside because of hearing these things. But honestly, it's already kind of baked in. We already kind of know what's happening with that. February 12th, which is Friday, we have the Consumer Sentiment Index, which will be preliminary for February. Again, since about October, that's been trending down and likely running in parallel with the local economies within the United States, with closures of small businesses, and so on and so forth. So I really don't expect that to be much different. I've noticed that there's this oscillating movement when it comes to the Consumer Sentiment Index, where 1 month it'll be up, the next month down, and then the next month after that it'll be up just above that second month. But generally the trend is down. So I wouldn't expect if February we start to see the Consumer Sentiment Index peak a little bit above 79, where we are right now from January. But again, I haven't seen too much as far as a radical change in US reopenings or anything like that in economies that would make me think that consumers feel, a little bit more comfortable with just general sentiment with the economy. But generally for next week, I think economic news will be kind of slow moving for gold and silver. I do think that one of the larger catalysts will just be the dollar coming back down to earth where it belongs, where it generally should be trending back down to. And let me know what you guys think about that in the comment section below. And also let me know who you think will win the Super Bowl. Do you got the Kansas City Chiefs? Do you got the Buccaneers? Are you a Brady guy? Are you a Mahomes guy? Let me know in the comment section below. My Ravens are out, so I don't care. Thanks again for watching. Please hit the like button. Please subscribe if you're new. It's Black Bullion for goldandsilvertoday.com.